The only thing Trump is guilty of is being the greatest president since Abraham Lincoln. Oh, and 34 felonies on top of that.
On his late-night program, Jimmy Kimmel always has a favorite topic, and that topic is none other than Donald Trump, who served as the President of the United States of America. For as long as we can remember, Jimmy Kimmel has courageously called out Donald Trump's disconnection from reality, making it abundantly plain to everyone that he is not in touch with reality. On the other hand, Trump is wasting his time by searching for pictures of Ivanka in a bikini on Google.
I guess I should be honored that the former president of the United States took time out of his busy schedule Googling Ivanka in bikini to rant about me, but...
Kimmel was the one who said those words, therefore we can assure you that we did not make them up. The comedian Jimmy Kimmel made a joke on how it is obvious that Donald Trump does not care to get his facts out. With regard to this particular case, Trump may have misidentified Kimmel with another individual, or it is possible that he was simply not paying attention to the Oscars, which he claims to loathe. In an effort to clear the matter, Kimmel stated unequivocally that he was not the one who gave the award for Best Picture.
I didn't present the award for Best Picture. I was the host. The host doesn't present awards. The presenters present the award. My wife went, oh, no. I said, oh, yes. And that was that. That was the whole story. Not at all what happened. What happened is they showed me what he posted. I looked at it. I said, oh, I'm going to read this.
Contrary to what Trump had suggested, it was not the responsibility of a host to do that. Rather, Al Pacino was the one who was given this significant responsibility on the evening.
He's Al Pacino. I'm me. You'd think he would know that because I'm pretty sure say hello to my little friend is what he said to Stormy Daniels that got him in all this trouble. Let's go through it again and just do a fact check line by line, starting with stupid Jimmy Kimmel. All right, that part might be true.
In an effort to drive home the point, Kimmel played a video clip in which one of Trump's lieutenants, Stephen Miller, boasted about Trump's encyclopedic memory as if he were on the playground. If you want to understand what we are saying, all you have to do is watch the video.
According to his top aides, he has an encyclopedic memory.
Donald Trump has an encyclopedic memory.
That's right.
A number of things were mentioned by this individual, one of which was that Trump is a fashion icon. Exactly. We are also laughing out loud right now.
The most stylish president and first lady in our lifetimes are Donald Trump and Melania Trump.
That guy, Stephen Miller, you know, he started, it's an interesting story, he started as a Russian sex bot.
Donald Trump's a style icon. He changed American fashion. In The Apprentice, people spent the next 10 years trying to dress like Donald Trump.
By reading Trump's Truth Social post that was directed at him out loud when the occasion presented itself, Kimmel was able to bring attention to the fact that Trump is a self-absorbed and malicious politician. On the night of the 2024 Academy Awards, the event took place, and if you weren't paying attention, it was really amusing. Trump was unable to refrain from retaliating, which is a clear indication that Kimmel touched a raw nerve.
He would make everybody on stage look bigger, stronger, and more glamorous, blah, 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 make America great again. He's still mad about the Oscars. This was 5 weeks ago. My parents don't even care anymore. Well, thank you, President Trump. Thank you for watching. I'm surprised you're still... Isn't it past your jail time?
As a result of Trump's extremely negative feelings, his advisors made a phone call to the people at Disney, who are supposed to be the proprietors of the show, in order to censor Kimmel. In case you were unable to see it, allow me to demonstrate that once more. Trump's critiques of his hosting stint were completely mocked by Kimmel, who implied that Trump's self-centeredness is more important than any criticism that could be considered valid. It would appear that Trump's attack on Kimmel on Truth Social has shed light on his desperate and insecure personality. See if you can guess which former president just posted that on social media, Kimmel said in his reaction and rebuttal, which was a direct shot at Trump. Thank you for tuning in, and by the way, aren't you meant to be serving your sentence by now on the prison sentence?
Trump would like to go to jail and become the farter martyr. Nobody wants to go to jail. 117 square feet, which Trump describes as 5,000 square feet with a balcony.
Kimmel considers that to be an example of what is known as a rebound. In a related development, Kimmel recently spilled the beans beans about how President Donald Trump was still offended by a joke he made during the 2017 Oscars opening monologue. In it, Kimmel praised Meryl Streep for being bold enough to stand up to Trump. Kimmel went on about how Streep is indeed the most overrated actress in Hollywood who doesn't deserve her accolades. For those who don't get it, it's supposed to be sarcasm. For clarity, the joke in question had to do with Meryl Streep's criticism of Trump during her Golden Globes acceptance speech. Apparently, Trump had made fun of a disabled journalist, and as a consequence, Meryl's speech was quite strong and empathetic in equal measure. Anyone who saw it would have easily gotten on her side, but not Trump, who sort of figured she was referring to him. And in typical fashion, Donald Trump had to reply to her on Twitter. At this point, we suggest you don't get anxious or get tempted to go on a Twitter tirade too. All you need to do is simply take it all in. Kimmel found it baffling that Trump, amidst facing a whopping 34 criminal charges, remains fixated on the Oscars and this particular joke from over 4 years ago. Kimmel suggested that despite being tangled in legal battles and controversies,
it's not hush money. It's a non-disclosure agreement, totally legal, totally common. Everyone has it. Hush money, hush money. It's not hush money. It's called the non-disclosure agreement.
That's right. You guys have them, right? I mean, everyone has them.
Trump just can't seem to let go of that one-liner. However, below is some background information regarding the hateful relationship that exists between Kimmel and Trump, which can be traced back to the year 2015. As part of his campaign push, Trump made a visit to Jimmy Kimmel's late-night talk show, which is broadcast on ABC. At the time, Trump was engaged in the process of competing for the nomination of the Republican Party in the approaching presidential election taking place in 2016. In the course of his appearance on the show, Donald Trump discussed his ambitious ambitions to mobilize the Republican Party and compete with his primary adversary, Jeb Bush, who was also considering running for president at the time. The situation, however, took a humorous turn when Kimmel published a children's book with the title, "Winners Aren't Losers." In the book, Kimmel poked fun at the phrases that Trump used during his campaign and made analogies between individuals who won and the former reality TV star himself. Although it may have appeared that Kimmel's jokes were nothing more than lighthearted banter, they actually laid the framework for a nasty and long-lasting feud between the two of them. To say that Trump took the joke to heart would be an understatement. Kimmel, on the other hand, has made a number of jabs at Trump on his show over the course of his career, frequently used humor to point out ways in which the former president's policies and personal behavior are flawed. One of the most memorable moments occurred in 2017 when Jimmy Kimmel became emotional while delivering a monologue about the rare heart defect that his newborn son was born with. At about the same time, President Trump was attempting to pass legislation that would repeal and rewrite the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare. Kimmel took advantage of the chance to focus attention on Trump's proposed changes to the healthcare system while also shedding light on the value of having access to healthcare. A further point that Kimmel brought up was the possibility that people with health problems, including as his son, might have been left high and dry without insurance coverage. Over and over again, he brought up this subject on his show, expressing his concern that President Trump would give his approval to any bill that repeals Obamacare without even being aware of what the bill contains. Furthermore, when it came to critical matters such as this one, Kimmel advocated for the engagement of both opposing parties and the general public. When it comes to policies, Kimmel did not hold back when it came to making fun of Trump's lofty notion for a national alert system. He turned it into a fake movie trailer. It is a system that is supposed to allow the government to send emergency messages to every nook and cranny of the country in the case of a national calamity on a scale similar to the one that is depicted in the movie Leave the World Behind, which is scheduled to be released in 2023. If you are not familiar with what this is, you should know that it is a system. However, Kimmel was of the opinion that it was an absolutely terrible strategy. The teaser presented a humorous depiction of a family that was driving along when they suddenly found themselves inundated with messages on their mobile devices. Due to the fact that they had already blocked Trump on Twitter, the parents were initially perplexed since they believed that it was only a matter of Trump tweeting away. However, to everyone's amazement, it turned out to be a text message that contained terms such as no collusion and witch hunt. Imagine the residents of the city going into a panic as soon as they heard these texts. There was a hilarious incident in in which a man severed his own hand in order to get rid of his smartwatch, since he was certain that it was the messenger of misfortune. We are all aware of Kimmel's feelings toward the laws that govern firearms in the United States at this point. To put it another way, he has even cried in front of live television in an attempt to get those in authority to take action. Kimmel went above and beyond in his criticism of President Trump's passivity on the issue of gun violence, particularly in the wake of the heartbreaking mass shooting that took place at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. The news that children were being murdered in cold blood was not the first time that it had been reported.
Another very sad day in America, another senseless shooting, this time at a high school in Parkland, Florida, where a gunman, a former student, opened fire yesterday again.
And as tears began to spring up in his eyes, Jimmy Kimmel poured his heart out and begged for some real steps to be taken in order to prevent the loss of other lives.
And our president, as he should, weighed in on the tragic events this morning from the White House.
No child, no teacher should ever be in danger in an American school. We are all joined together as one American family, and your suffering is our burden also.
On the other hand, he was unable to comprehend the absence of any action or even a reasonable conversation of the matter.
Kimmel took a brave step by flipping the script on Trump and the Republicans, who had been pointing the finger at mental health as the primary cause of gun violence through their repeated statements.
He was in agreement with them, but he went one step further and suggested that anyone who dismissed the urgent need for action must be really lacking something up there.
And we hope that Trump and the MAGA movement have the decency to cry about stuff like this too.